Fight Fest. This contest is scheduled for three 3-minute rounds for the Cage of Honor Amateur Welterweight Championship. Brought to you tonight by Highland Cable and Artisan Contracting. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out the Cape Electrical blue corner. This Muay Thai specialist stands 6 foot tall, weighed in 169.8 pounds. He holds an amateur record 4-6, representing Sabins Martial Arts Academy, fighting out of DuQuoin, Illinois, Bryan Ferrari Barkau. His opponent across the Player One cage, fighting out of the Cape Electrical red corner, is a mixed martial artist standing 5'9", weighed in 162.2 pounds. He holds an amateur record, 3 wins, 2 defeats. Representing Pentagon Submission Fighting out of Vandalia, Illinois, Prater. Your referee in charge of the action, Tim Francis.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the instructions in back. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Touch them up, go back to your corners.
I'll tell you, that's when I feel like everybody wakes up. This pin's gonna drop. They'll both hear it. These lights came on, their eyes adjusted, and now they're throwing hands with another guy.
Yeah, usually the touch of the gloves are the first time I got hit. That's when I really focus in.
It stopped feeling like a sparring match at that point?
Oh, no, I just would stop, crying inside. Why am I locked in here with somebody trying to hurt me?
This stranger who's keeping care of us.
Yeah.
Calling the rules.
First title fight of the night underway. Cutter Prater fighting in his 3rd weight class of his amateur career. He's fought at 45, fought at 55, and here we see him tonight stepping up to fight Bryan Barkau at 170 pounds.
I mean, he looks like he's chiseled out of stone. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, a little jealous, not going to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks great, but I'll be honest with you. Every time I think about a guy who's capable of getting as low as 145, that looks like Cutter Prater. It's almost like, why don't you do it every time?
That was some classic Barkau there, though. Once he lands, he just starts unloading. But he pulled back. Younger him wouldn't have done that. He would have probably kept going until he got tired. So we're getting to see some more experience out of him, maturity. That's a good calf kick.
Yeah, I kept it really nice and low, put Bryan off balance for just a moment.
Well, it's hard to defend calf kicks, and they hurt.
Yeah, veteran of almost 20 amateur bouts is Bryan Barkau. Finally with the team, just pure talent, riding on his own, and now we see him with such a storied team like Sabins Martial Arts Academy, and I'm really excited to see this new version of Bryan Barkau tonight.
Yeah, it seems to be the game of Barkau using boxing, and it's like Cutters looks like he's just trying to take those legs out.
And you can already see that red mark building up bad on Barkau's leg, hitting it right where that muscle contracts. That makes it harder and harder to put pressure there, really limits mobility.
Well, we've
seen
it with
don't realize it stops
Michael,
combinations.
Yeah, we've seen with Michael Chandler. I mean, it can literally cause you to not be able to walk. You can completely lose your leg. At some point, your body, starts defending itself in its own way.
To speak to what you said earlier, I mean, Barkau, with such success in his combinations earlier, I don't know if Cutter hit him hard enough or if he is just patient enough to wait for another opportunity like that, but he's really slowed down the pace already after a lot of success early.
Well, both guys have knockout power. You might just being respectful, too. You don't want to get caught getting overzealous and then get clocked with I guess most of the time when you get knocked out, it's the one you don't see.
Finally checked that calf kick, too, right there. A little less damage, he got it off the floor.
We're anticipating that. Let's see how much that pays dividends later in round number 2 and 3.
Ooh! Wow!
Oh,
Cutter!
He's out.
Absolutely! Oh! Cutter Prater.
Let's see if they rule that as a buzzer beater. Oh my gosh!
Wow!
Bryan needs to do everything he can to look okay.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Bryan, look okay.
In this welterweight championship matchup.
Bryan needs to look okay and take time to recover if there is going to be a round 2.
But he does not want to see. He does not want to let the doc see this.
Don't forget,
Upon the completion
Right
of
hand
tonight's
just
event, the
barely
official after
misses
party
over
of
the
Cage of
top.
Honor 92 is at the
I have not
Hypnotic
seen the
Club
dot
on
come
Broadway.
in. I think we're going to round 2.
Yeah, I think he was saved by the bell here as this big head kick lands.
Oh, man. And then that there, too, the uppercut.
Vicious follow-up.
Saved by the bell is Bryan Barkau. Hopefully he's got his wits about him as round number 2 gets underway.
Oh,
and our first title bout of the evening.
The doctor is in there now. Justin, that was actually a good point. Does he have his wits about him? How quick does he recover? Because does it take a flick now, or can he eat any more? That's the real question. And he went to the wrong corner too.
So both fighters went to the wrong corners during the round, or in between rounds. They were knocked so bad, both of them. They went to both neutral corners.
Cutter just needs to get started right away and see how the waters are.
I agree. I think
Doesn't want to
Cutter
give
should.
Bryan time to recover.
I agree with that. He should test him.
Coming up this far in weight, it's got to be. There's got to be a little bit of tension there to engage, but especially inside the pocket. He landed that kick at range. He landed flush, but if you're Cutter Prater coming up almost 2 full weight classes, even after a big shot like that, you got to be a little cautious to exchange in the pocket.
True. Barkau does look like he's recovered pretty good, because those are 2 hard shots. It wasn't just the kick. That follow-up uppercut really rocked him too.
Yeah, kudos to Bryan for just absolutely eating those shots.
Well, he looked at Tim Francis, the ref, and he was just like, "I'm fine." And then you seen him wobble, and that's what I was like. And he leaned against. He was smart. He leaned against the cage, like, "No, I'm okay. I'm just getting my breather."
Good. I'm good.
He did. That was a veteran move all the way around.
A lot of success with the outside calf kick for Cutter. Hasn't discontinued that here in round 2. Looking at
that lead leg of Bryan Barkau has a couple different welts on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's starting to swell up, and you see the bruising. And again, you lose your calf, it can stop you. Especially, I mean, we talked about Barkau has so much power, but if you can't plant, there goes Prater.
big catch right there.
Oh,
and Bryan's immediately going to take cage control. That's the experience, is screaming, do not put your back on the wall.
He's good. Yep. Good job, Colton. Proud of you for that.
I was expecting a big punch off the break there from Bryan Barkau.
Corner's yelling for it's time to show something. I think both men showing pretty good. Oh, that leg's starting to really wear on him.
Again, I'm telling you, it limits the combinations. It's not just 1, 2, 3. There's steps involved with 1, 2, 3.
Well, obviously Prater did some kind of film work, because he's waiting on that. That's a counter that he's nailed almost every time as soon as Barkau steps forward. So they must have seen something.
Barkau in his feints really heavy on that.
Wow, big left hand.
Barkau
Cutter's just trying to just swarm him right now and get it on strikes right here, trying to finish on strikes.
It's smart, because this is the second drop, so Francis is going to look closer, especially in an amateur bout.
Big hammer fist over the top.
He's going to call that. Has to.
Oh, she rode here in our first title bout of the evening. Cutter Prater coming up 2 weight classes here tonight at Cage of Honor 92. And he is victorious against the ever tough Bryan Barkau.
Very good game plan. I mean, very bigger guys you're talking about. He took the legs out from under him, and then when he saw the ending there, he was all over him. He was not going to let him back up.
Boom, that left hand was clean too.
Yeah, just a clean check left hook, followed by some ferocious ground and pound from Cutter Prater here. But Bryan Barkau looking to frame and try and get up, but you take that many shots to the head, sometimes things just don't work like they're supposed to. And you can't post on that arm. You can't stand up straight. And referee Tim Francis calling it off, rightfully so.
You don't want to turn away like that. The headlock's not going to stop a whole lot. He should have turned back into him, try to get his base back.
One of the best training partners I ever had the pleasure of sharing the mat with, Josh Sample, always told me you never turn away from your problems. You always face them no matter how hard they get. And that especially rings true when you're on the mat.
And that's coming from a wrestler, so you know it's legit. They're used to giving up their backs. Well, we already know it, but let's get the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Tim Francis calls a stop to this fight. 2 minutes, 48 seconds into the second round, declaring a winner by TKO and new Cage of Honor Amateur Welterweight Champion, Prater.
A lot of respect from the both fighters right there. Again, compliments the Cutter for going up so many weight classes and getting a pretty dominant victory over Bryan Barkau today.
But the good news is we're not done with title shots yet.